Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. You're watching Original Art Hour episode 41. This is the show where we sit down with original comic art collectors, look at some art from their collections, and pretty much have a good time doing that. So that's what we're going to do, episode 41. And joining me is the artist formerly known as Jag. No, Black Swamp Comics.
Hello, everybody.
Leo, what's
What's
up,
up?
buddy, man? Good to see you, man.
Yeah,
Um,
very excited.
I can't remember if we've collaborated on a show specifically about you before, or but probably somewhere at some point. But I know we met each other for the first time, what, last year at C2E2? Was that last year already?
Yeah,
Man,
that's like in
all right.
August.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it was great
So,
meeting you there and hanging out. I wish we could have hung out even more, but hey, there's always a future con for that. But welcome to the
for sure, for
show.
sure.
Welcome to the world of original comic art collecting. I hope you're finding it to be a good hobby for yourself. But good to have you on, man. Good to have you on. So
Thank you. I
uh, we're
appreciate it.
we're we're gonna say a quick hello to the chat, but then we're gonna get right into you and what you collect. Your channel, Black Swamp Comics on YouTube. Subscribe below. Follow him on Instagram. Those are where he's pretty much the most active. Instagram and YouTube. Those links are below. Go check him out. But we had Unruly Simeon in here. We got Tricky Trapster. Stay tuned for a piece that I got from Tricky Trapster, an Electra piece. It's awesome. Spoiler alert. Geeks and Drinks. What's up, Steve? Good to see you. Ruben. Yes, I am back. Finally. Better late than never. Let's see. We got Ronald Shepard. What's up, Ronald Shepard? We got Biggie Shack. What's up, Biggie? We got Jeff Wedding. What's going on, Jeff? Good to see you, man. We got David Barr and we got Andy E. Good to see you, bro. We got my buddy Jake, who just followed me to Forbidden Planets after we saw a terrible movie in Union Square. Good to see you, Jake. Thanks for hanging out, brother. And good seeing you today. All right, well, let's get into it, dude. Black Swamp Comics, formerly Jaguar. I'm not going to pronounce the last name.
Yep.
Uh,
That's why I changed. It's like
yeah,
Shio Shioquatel.
Chiquato. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but everybody calls me Jag though, so I'm
Jag,
cool with
yeah,
that.
Jag for life. But Black Swamp Comics, great name, great collector. You collect a lot of different things, but why don't you get into yourself a little bit of an intro before we get into the artwork.
All right, so yeah, I started collecting them maybe around 2018 and stuff. With comic books and stuff. I never really had comic books when I was a kid. Like we didn't really have a LCS, where I grew up at. But I liked like 80s movies. I'm pretty nostalgic about that. And I liked reading a lot of books. Like I liked
Mhm.
Animorphs, Goosebumps, sci-fi stuff. All that stuff was cool to me.
Hell
And
yeah, R.L. Stein, man, I love that stuff.
yeah, love all that stuff. So with comics, naturally, I've always loved art, as well, and comics and brought that literature stuff. It was kind of a nice little crossroads for me, um, and I really enjoyed it. I started off with comic books, and um, so when how I got into original art, well, I'm not gonna blame you, Javi,
Don't
but
blame.
it is by proxy, by
You
because
can,
Geek said,
yeah, you can say that that I helped. That, maybe I was a gateway in some way for you, but yeah.
Well, because you did, I know Geeks when he was on your show, he's like, oh yeah, it was having the, but for me it was Geeks, he's in the
Mm.
chat right now when he was showing me one of his original art pieces, and I was like, get out of here, man. It's like you telling me I can buy the original art for these comic books? Like it never really crossed my mind. I always thought, artists just kept their art or whatever. I was like, so it was kind of like came from left field, and so I went out and I purchased a piece, and that was it.
Awesome.
I just love the art, man.
Is your first piece in one of the slides tonight? Or
Yes.
okay, cool, great,
Yeah, so
awesome.
we'll get to that one, and I'll let you guys know a little bit about that one.
That's right. We're the OA pushers around here. Yeah, sad but true. As are pretty much any hobby can be addicting, but
Yeah,
this bug bites particularly hard sometimes. But hey,
but
it's fu-
it's
it's why we're here.
it's so satisfying though, like
It is.
having, creations like I really envy artists because it's like they put what what's in their brain on a piece of paper, and I don't know. To me, that's amazing to me. That's an amazing skill.
Absolutely. And it's a unique, one of one collectible, which
Yep, one of one.
adds so much satisfaction to every addition to your collection. So, all right, man. Well, we're gonna get right into it. We Black Swamp brought about 20 plus pieces to share. I also brought, like 9 or 10 or so. Haven't quite figured out what the order is gonna be. We're just gonna let you go for a while, and then we'll kind of gauge the pace that we've got going, and then I'll interject maybe somewhere in the middle and do my stuff, and then we'll circle back, and then we'll wrap up with you. But why don't we start with your first slide here? Let me find it real quick. And it is this illustration here. It looks like by Ron Friends
Yep, and breeding
for breeding.
was it? Yep.
Breeding. Yep.
So this is a nice little piece. This is blue line copy
Mhm.
with the inks over it, and I really love this pinup. I
So
think
it was a pinup in a book.
I'm not really sure where it came from. I just saw the
Okay.
piece on, and I was like, man, mine. So, but I really loved it. Just the style of it, just Mira pretty much taking the entire space of the paper. So I collect a lot of Aquaman stuff. I really started
Hmm.
enjoying that stuff, and Mira was like a character that really stood out for me. So for me to find this piece, it was really awesome. So also, I'm just gonna let you guys know that if I mispronounce like names and stuff, I'm just gonna let you go.
Don't worry about it.
My English is not very good looking, all right, like Celia Cruz said, uh but this is but yeah, like I said, this is an awesome piece. 11 by 17, so it's pretty big and it's very amazing. I really like it.
Ruben's sharing that it looks like it could be licensing art because Breeding did quite a bit of licensing
Okay, okay.
artwork, which I guess, yeah, that makes sense. Especially if it's because it's of the method of it being a blue line. I would imagine it was used somewhere because you're not usually not seeing blue line stuff on unused material. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
stuff that wasn't printed. So really in some way, some fashion. So really cool, man. Was this the first piece or is that still coming up?
No, that the
Okay.
first piece is probably going to be the last piece. So,
Got
no,
it.
it is going to
Okay.
be the last piece. So,
Okay, cool. All right, moving on. This is switching from that possible licensing art to a published original page right here. Tell us about this one.
okay, so I really love this one. Killmonger is like my favorite Marvel villain, to be honest. And I read this. This came from out of the. I think it's like a 5 issue mini for Killmonger back in 2018. The artist here is Juan Ferreira, and this is like a mixed. You get a little bit of mixed media on here as well. And I really love this point right here in time because the whole mini is pretty much of Killmonger starting off as this kind of like naive, kind of, low level thug and a
Hmm.
little bit cocky. And then he kind of transformed into this, the dangerous Killmonger that we all know and love. And this page right here is where he had just killed like the girl that he loved, Night, and he's just kind of like standing over her dead body. And this is like the transformation to Killmonger is complete. He literally just killed the last thing he loved. And then
Hmm.
behind you got like I forget her name, but she's like um the evil, she's kind of like the counter to Bast, the benevolent panther god. I
Okay.
think this was her first appearance. I'm not sure if it was in this issue, but I know she made her first appearance in
Bast,
this
who
series.
sells. I don't know if you're familiar. Well, you are because I know you have a death piece coming up. But Bast, like from Sandman, like the cat god or the panther god.
Yes, the panther
Okay,
god. Yep. So she's kind of like the counter. So if Bast is kind of like the
I
benevolent
see.
god, she's like the chaos war, kind of like the devil kind of side. So
Word.
really love this piece, and I really love
Yeah,
the
like
colors
it's a
in it.
very creepy face, like in a I mean just like a we not not the foreground panel with the in the background. Super cool.
Okay, yeah.
So
So is she getting her eyes closed? Is it?
was this colored when it you know I guess went to print? Like, is
So
all the OA like this colored or for this
so
series?
so this I'm not really sure. Like we get a little bit of color here, and when you looked at the published art, like there's more color to it as well.
Got it.
So I'm not really sure if he just kind of wanted
So there's
to.
additional coloring beyond what's in the OA as well in the
Yes,
final.
yes,
Oh,
correct.
interesting.
And I really love Juan Ferreira's like he's got like very like traditional, style of doing art and stuff like that. So he's kind of not you can really tell like it's physical media from
Yeah,
his art.
very cool, dude. Yeah, I really like that one. Very unique. Before we get to the next piece, we've got some people who've joined us. We got Southern Comic Geek Jason. Welcome. What's up? Good to see you, man. We've got Kenny Comic Head 84. I believe we're going to see something
Salute.
related to Kenny later. Good to see you guys. And we got Brian, Take the Time Collectibles. Good to see you, man. Thank you for hanging out with us. All right, let's go to the next piece. And we've got a sketch cover.
All right, so I got this one at um Fantastic Con. I think it was last year. I believe the artist's name is Jason Westlake, I think. And very awesome piece, Dark Side. So I was just walking by his table and he was actually working on this piece. And and then I just kind of waited and I was just kind of like watching the process as I was doing my laps. And then I was like, is that for anybody? And he's like, no, it's like
Mhm.
I saw to you for but the one thing I did see is that the lasers in the back aren't filled in. So that
Oh
kind of
yeah.
so that kind of like bugs me a little bit, and I've kind of like contemplated filling them in myself. But other than that, like the piece looks amazing. Like I really love the red around the eyes. Like he's starting to power up his, his laser beams. Like he's about to shoot
hmm
the Omega beams, and it's really awesome. I think this is very looks very much like the Dark Side from the Snyder Cut, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, definitely.
so yeah, Darkseid is the ultimate baddie at DC in my opinion. So I was, very fortunate to be able to be where I was at to get that piece.
Nice. You know what? I mean, it's cool that you bring that up with the context around it, because like for me, it's very satisfying when I'm going to a convention and I don't have to wait the day or the day and a half to get a piece from an artist because they already have something pre-done that I really connect with.
Yep.
That's happened to me a couple times. There was a Darth Maul piece that I picked up at C2E2 this past time. That was in that situation, and then there's been others too. So it's like, oh, I don't have to worry about coming back on Sunday or having it mailed to me or whatever. It just works out sometimes. So
I'm gonna
awesome.
be honest, like I think I'm more inclined to actually buy art when I see it
Yeah,
and
because
it's
I
ready.
mean, you like the image.
Hmm.
There's an unknown element about commissioning. I love commissioning too. Don't get me wrong, but there's a little bit of a risky element there, an unknown. But
Yeah.
all right, let's go to the next one. We also had Hoarder's Hide up in the house and with an injury, unfortunately. That sucks, man. Sorry about that.
Hey man, get
Um,
better, man.
yeah, get better, dude. But next piece, we got this one. This one's cool, man.
I love this. This is I also got it at the same con. It was Fantastic Con last year. And the artist here is J.A. Defoe. He does have an Instagram. And this was, again, it was just a piece that he had ready to go. And it was just like, it was on sale. Like, I actually got a commission from him that we'll see in a little bit. But this was also available on his table. And I was
Mhm.
like, all right, I'm getting, this is great. Um, so. This is a great mirror piece. And you see like her kind of almost a full figure, almost really.
Yeah.
And I love the water effects in the background and stuff like that. So I've always wanted a piece like that with like Mira and like splashing water around her and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
I love the.
I'm racking my brain to think if I have any art with Mira on it, and I don't think I do. But that would be a cool character to have a commission or an illustration from.
And
A lot of
I really love
water.
the detail that he did on the
hmm
suit as well, the scales and stuff. So
Very cool. What was the artist name again? I can't read signatures for crap.
his name is Jay Defoy,
Jade.
Defly.
Okay, got it.
I
Yeah,
love
definitely.
this style too.
Yeah, really, really good details. Nice. All right. Let me find the next one. Get another sketch cover here.
All right, so this is an unknown artist. Like I don't know who it is. Like I don't recognize the signature. The story with this one is I actually picked this up like at this, I don't know what it was. It was like some kind of flea market slash beer festival slash concert place, whatever. So it was like outdoors. They had live music. They had a bar, where you taste beers and stuff. And then people could set up like the little wares or whatever. And so it wasn't necessarily a lot of like it wasn't comics and or toys. I just ended up finding a booth that had toys, and then the guy had like a box of comics, and I was able to find this in that box. I really don't know who the artist is, but it does say After Bernie. So I saw it, and he really didn't want much for it, and I was like, yeah, I really like this piece, and so it's kind of a no-brainer for me. Swamp Thing is really awesome. I really love Swamp Thing. He's one of those characters that I feel like is always been well written, and he's always been well drawn as well. So, um, and it's kind of like one of those evergreen characters that, always continues to put out great stories and great comics. So,
I absolutely love Swamp Thing. I mean, one of my favorite characters, especially behind Batman, probably my second favorite DC title or character or universe or whatever you want to call it. I'm a big Swampy fan myself. I'm trying to like turn my neck sideways to see if I could like read the signature to try to help identify the artist, but
trust me,
nah,
I've tried.
I can't. Yeah, I can't recognize. Even if I could recognize it, it looks kind of just chicken scratchy to me.
hmm
I do see the
So,
after rights is
uh,
clearly written, but yeah.
yeah, After
So that's
Wrightson.
interesting. All right,
Um,
bit of a mystery.
I will say some of my favorite interactions is between Batman and Swampy. I think those are always like fun.
Absolutely. Even like comic canon wise in the comics. Yeah. All right. So a little bit different of a thing here on the next piece. I guess this is what remark you would classify. Is this like in a
Yep, this is
book?
a remark.
Okay, this is in a book.
Yeah, so this is on the inside of Lady Killer.
Mm.
Um, and this is a sketch by Joelle Jones. Now, let me tell you something about Joelle Jones. That woman is elusive, okay?
She is
Um,
super talented and yeah, but yeah,
yeah,
it's
so
very tough to get
it's
published art.
for sure, for sure. So it's very
What's
difficult
up,
to
Signature King?
uh so even with first time I went to New York Comic Con 2018, like they had, put her on there and put her on the list. So I showed up and she ended up
Mhm.
not being there for whatever reasons, but I was so glad to finally
Yeah,
meet her
I
last
actually
year at
kind of
C2E2.
remember that, like, because I was gonna try to hit her up that year. I didn't know you at the time. That would have been
Yeah,
cool. That would have been cool if I did know you at the time. Could have hung out, but
yeah, that would have
um,
been sweet.
yeah.
And
Hey, and New York
so
Comic Con 2023, come out, people. I got a couch.
so Joelle Jones, man, like I really like her. I think she's really talented. I think she's probably like the best Catwoman artist in my opinion. The way
I
she
love
does
her
like
Catwoman.
latex and the
Yeah.
blacks and reflections in the suit. So yeah, it was kind of a no-brainer. And she was super nice, man. When I got to meet her, and she was awesome. And I really hope I get to meet her again.
Dude, me too, Andy. He's saying major hole in his collection. Like, I've passed up on stuff that I should have pulled the trigger on with Joel Jones years ago that I just feel like an idiot about, to be honest. But hey, what are you gonna do? What's up,
Right.
Nick Barucci in the house saying hit the thumbs up. I appreciate that. I forgot to say that, so thank you, Nick. Hit the thumbs up. Appreciate it. Yeah, couch party at mine. But yeah, this is sweet, dude. Sweet. Just to have any example, honestly.
hmm
You know,
And I really didn't even ask for. I just wanted a signature, and she was very awesome to like, did
that's
this quick
cool.
doodle.
Free remark. So that's awesome. All right. So next up, we have some community member artwork from Kenny, who was in the chat earlier. I don't know if he's still in the chat, but
Kenny
uh,
Comic Kid 84.
this is a Kenny 84 special right here.
This is an exclusive, players. So
Exclusive.
the only way you could get this one is if you entered his What If contest and won. So that's how I ended up getting this. He has this What If contest where you write a
I
story.
remember that. I think I
Yeah.
was a finalist, maybe, but I didn't win. But I don't
So
remember.
I
To be
was like,
honest, I don't remember. But
I was one of the winners. I think there were other winners as
actually,
well.
you know what? I
Uh,
was one of the winners because Kenny sent me like I think a Punisher sketch that I wasn't expecting that he
mhm.
did. Because I think I have like 484 sketch covers in my collection, which is kind of
Yeah.
crazy to have four from Kenny, but I think I do.
So, and it was awesome because this one was perfect for me because this is Killmonger with
Mhm.
you know, zombified and stuff like that. So, very awesome. Very great. I think I have like four pieces from Kemeny 84, but this was definitely by far my favorite one. So, I really love that he colored it in, and I love the shading on the moon as well in the background and stuff like that. So, I don't know, it looks pretty cool. It looks like graffiti that you could see like in a city somewhere. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Okay, he clarified. I I wish I could like recite my story from scratch for everybody right now, but I totally forgot what my story was. But I know it
Um,
involved like, a pretty hilarious cast of characters writing a comic. Like I think I had Biggie
yeah.
Shack on writing duties or something, which was pretty awesome. Shout out to Biggie. But yeah, I
One of my
love to read
favorites
the
was
comic.
Steve's where he's like where he had Batman like adjusting his junk every like couple lines and stuff like that. That one was funny to me. Like that was funny.
Oh, good shit. All right. We'll give you a couple more, then we'll switch off to me for a little bit.
Okay.
Your next one is this Batman.
Oh yeah, so this is from Steve, Geeks, man. He
Oh
sent
yeah,
me this
Geeks does
as a
some.
part of NAOK. And and so yeah, he sent me this. I really don't know like what the occasion was because he sends me like a lot of stuff constantly. And I always really
Mm,
appreciate when I get like AOKs that were created. I don't know. I just think it's really special when someone
yeah.
like takes his time to do something for you like that. And I think this is really cool. Um, I actually forgot that there was actually a back part to it. So if you like zoom me
Oh
out,
yeah. Hold on. Let me get you on the screen.
it's actually a wraparound around the back.
Oh
So
sweet.
it's a face off between Superman and Batman. And Batman looks like he's kind of had a kind of a long night there. He's got the 5 o'clock shadow and everything going on. So really appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, nice work, Geeks. Geeks sent me a sketch cover also at one point. I think it was Ben Riley, like Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, or maybe it was Peter Parker Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I don't know. It was on a Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man like blank comic cover, and it was a very colorful kind of like avant-garde style to a Spider-Man image, but it was pretty cool, honestly. I was like, oh, I didn't know you had that kind of skills,
Yeah.
Um, so
He
pretty
gets
sweet.
down, bro.
Yeah, man, for sure. All right, we got this next one, and this is a Ramona Fradon pencil illustration.
Yeah, so this is like a small sketch that I find online.
Hmm.
So Ramona Fradon, in my opinion, she's like super underrated. Like she was like
Absolutely.
to me, she was like one of the giants of the Silver Age. I'm not really sure, but she could have been like one of the first women to work on, comic book heroes. Again, I'm not really familiar with Golden Age, but you don't really hear of a lot of
Hmm.
Silver Age female artists. And she's still grinding, man. She's like 90 something, and
Oh
she's still
yeah.
grinding, and she's still putting stuff out, and I just eat them up. I love her style. It's like so.
Shout out to Scott Kress and the Catskill Comics crew over there
Oh
because
yeah, for sure. That's
I've because I saw that you brought some Ramona pieces to the show, so I also brought some because I recently picked up some from the Catskill crew over there because they're so affordable and they're so nice, to be
yeah,
honest.
they're so great.
They're
Like they're
amazing.
awesome.
Yep.
This one's for my Justice League Dark collection. I love collecting the Justice League Dark stuff, and this is like an old school Enchantress from back in the day and stuff like that. So I think it's kind of unique. Again, it's the DC Enchantress, so I really enjoyed it. Cindy Moon here, I think that's her name, Moon something or whatever. I might be talking about the other
Hmm.
lady, but um, very cool piece. I really like them. They're like wholesome pieces to me.
Yeah, there's gonna be some more Ramona on this stream, both from both of us. So
Oh,
just
nice.
yeah. Ooh, Geeks is he's waiting on a commission from her. That's awesome. That's cool.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
All right. All right, we got another remark here. We'll do what, like two more, and then we'll switch off to me, and then we'll go back to you.
Okay. Let me make sure I remember his name correct. Mark Nelson, I believe is the artist here.
Okay.
He worked on the original Aliens storyline. So I got this done here at Fantasticon. He was actually here um, with James O'Barr. No, it wasn't Fantasticon. It was Monroe Pop Fest. So it's pretty local, small con, and he was out there. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go get something done by him because like I said, I have a huge 80s sci-fi nostalgia, and this was
Hmm.
pretty awesome. And then it was just kind of interesting to see him kind of go through the process of drawing it. And then he was kind of saying that the black covers are a little bit more difficult to draw because of you have to think things like
Oh,
opposite.
this was done on a comic? I just
So th
assumed it was I assumed it was like on the inside of a hardcover or something like that.
so yeah, it was actually done on the inside of my omnibus.
Oh, okay.
Um,
So it was done on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
inside.
yeah. So it was done on my omnibus, but I guess like you were talking about like black paper, I guess.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
tough.
be, be, because artists, I think they have to like, especially with the shadows and stuff, they have to like switch their brain um kind of where the dark is the light and the light is the dark. But I honestly I was pretty happy at how it came in, and Geeks was there with me that, and he also got an Alien one. But I think I'm gonna start doing more on like white papers and stuff like that. So, but I really enjoyed it. He was really cool.
Nice. All right, and then we'll do this one more piece before we switch to my turn, and this is well, this is T'Challa. So
All right, so this is another piece by uh, Jay DeFoy. This was a commission piece that I picked up from him, and the story with this one though is I actually requested a Black Manta. But you know how at cons it gets really loud sometimes, so yeah, like sometimes you're yelling
oh,
and
he
stuff.
misheard.
Yeah. So I said, could I get a Black Manta? And then I was like, but could you make sure that the eyes are red? So, like he's firing his lasers and stuff, like he's about to fire his
uh,
lasers. And he just gave me this really confused look. It's like, dude, do you know who Black Panther is, man? And so when I came back, and I saw that it was he was working on a Black Panther, I was like, it works. Because
it's like,
I'm
who
still
is
a
this
Black Panther
poser
fan, so
comic book fan at my table
yeah.
right now? No, I'm just
Who is this guy, man? It's like firing lasers. Like that's not your guy, man. But I still love the way it came out. That's why you still kind of see the red tint around the eyes.
yeah, I see it.
Um, yeah. So he didn't color it all the way
Just
in.
happened to
So
do a close up on that part of the image too, but that's
yeah,
that's a good story and that's a funny
and
story.
yeah. So I'm actually kind of glad he didn't like listen to me
Hmm.
and have Black Panther shooting lasers.
Kenny, at least he didn't hear Black Racer.
Yeah,
Oh boy. All
that could have
right.
gone so many ways.
Yeah. That's hey, it's an accident, but it came out well. Happy
Yeah, and
accident,
I loved
you
it.
know?
I still love the way it
Yeah.
came out. It was kind of a nice surprise, anyways.
Good one, dude. Good one. Okay, so we're gonna switch off here, and I will try to go through mine as concisely as I can. Tried to bring some stuff that matched up a little bit with what you brought, but then also just other things that I've been picking up lately because I haven't been collecting a ton in 2023, on a little bit of a pause, a little bit of a break. But every once in a while, there's a squirrel. Like a lot of these are sub $100. Like the majority, I think all but one piece I'm going to show in my round here was $100 or less. So very affordable pieces that just appealed to me for various reasons. Some I had to go out and win at auction, like including a page I won for $25 on Comic Link, which is kind of crazy. And some Fred Hembeck stuff, some sketch cards. Won a couple of his auctions. But enough of that. Enough of me spoiling my own round. We we were talking about Ramona Fradon earlier, and
Ooh.
this is a gorgeous Wonder Woman. It's a small piece, but like she just packs so much punch into that small artboard size. And a character, it's just, I don't know. It's just classy to me. I'm a big fan of this one.
I love it. Like her style is like very soft with the pencils and stuff and even like it's simple but you know it stands out a lot like the lines on her chest and stuff like I don't know I
Absolutely.
really enjoyed it. She's got a good eye for it.
It's just silky smooth, you know, for a small pencil sketch image. I love it. What's up, Ken Bird in the house? Um, yeah, it's just a classic style and a legend that's still going and still doing, you know, really, really great stuff and stuff that pretty much any collector in the hobby can afford to some degree. So I'm
For
really
sure.
happy I found this one, especially being, you know, a fan of Wonder Woman. And stay tuned. I got another Frayden
Yes.
in this lineup. But moving on, this is my second piece. This is another pickup from the Catskill Comics crew and their roster. This artist on this one is Chris Ring. And it's just a Batman illustration. I think this was only $50, and it's like a pretty full size, like I think on a 9 by 12 board. So this was either 50 or $60, which is really cool. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's like the Robert Pattinson
It
Batman.
looks like it. Yeah,
Yeah,
because it looks like he's
the
got the collar.
Pattinson. Yeah, so from the 2022 film, and I hadn't, you know, I was a big fan of that film, but I don't have any example of Batman in artwork of that style of Batman suit and
Mhm.
the character. So I think this is the first piece that I've added that, you know, is a nod to that version of Batman or the Batman. So yeah, pretty cool colored illustration, very affordable, very well done, great price. I can't complain. So again, the artist is Chris Ring, and it was another pickup from the Catskill Comics crew. Yeah, he's always fun and affordable. Exactly, and it's always quality artwork. So happy to have that one as well. Another one that I picked up from that same crew, but different artists, Bob Hall. This is a Deadpool illustration colored by Bob Hall. And I think this was also another pretty cheap, like $50 piece or so. I think I just like, you know, a couple times in a row, like went back to the well on Catskill with some of these affordable pieces that fit characters that I like and characters that I collect and I'm a fan of. So yeah,
That's dope, dude.
pretty charming little Deadpool piece here.
Yeah, I love
Very
it. A little
simple.
squint.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I think he nailed the attitude. Yeah, the colored artwork is cool here as well as on the previous piece that Chris did. But yeah, I like this piece by Bob. Happy to have this. And Deadpool is something I've been kind of collecting more of as of late, and I have been kind of getting more into the character, I guess, from a reading standpoint, if you will. More, you know, I've you know I've been a fan of the movies for a long time, or I mean, to say a long time is a stretch. I don't know when did the first Deadpool movie come out? Like
It's been a
eh,
while, dude. Like,
8 years ago, something 6 years ago. I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. Time goes by fast.
Time
So
does fly, but yeah, been collecting more Deadpool lately, so kind of a new subcategory of artwork I'm looking for, even though I have too many of those now at this point. Too many characters, too many titles, too many things I like, too many things I'm a fan of. But what are you gonna do?
yeah, I
So
relate.
yeah, I hear you. I hear you. So speaking of one of my subcategories or major categories that I collect,
Oh my God.
plus a Ramona piece. So this is a full, well, I don't know if it's full size. I think it might be 9 by 12, not 11 by 17, but it's a full figure piece rather than just a headshot. So yeah, Elektra, probably my second biggest category within OA behind Star Wars is just
Hmm.
Elektra, you know, Elektra related artwork. I probably have more, like besides Star Wars, like take Star Wars out of the equation. I might have, probably well, no, Batman and Spider-Man. I have more pieces of than Elektra, but behind Star Wars, Batman, and Spider-Man, I think Elektra is probably the fourth position on sort of the number of pieces I have per character kind of deal. So yeah, I'm pretty happy that this one
Dude,
was
this
snagged by myself.
this piece is so dope though. I love Electra and I hope to, in the future start getting a little bit more Electro and
Yeah, I
Daredevil.
mean, one
But
of my favorite characters.
mm,
I mean, I love the different character designs over the years, but yeah, I mean, this one's pretty sweet for the price I got to pay for it, and it's larger size as well and full figured, so I'm pretty satisfied, honestly. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
pretty dope. It's dope, dude.
Pretty fun to see her done by Ramona here. So yeah, man. So once again, I think all four of those pieces that I just showed, this one, this one, this one, and this one, all from the Catskill Comics crew. So I wanted to just point that out and give them a shout out again real quick. Yeah, well, Jeff's got a good idea. Maybe Darth Maul slash Electra mashups moving
Right?
forward. Yeah, that could be a cool commission idea. Honestly, that would be a good battle, a good
She's got like the
hypothetical.
side, put the lasers.
Yeah, I mean a lot of red in that hypothetical two character commission. But yeah, I'm pretty damn happy with that one. I alluded to it earlier that I've been picking up some cheaper art pieces, and within that, I did win a few Fred Hembeck sketch cards finally on eBay. So every week Fred puts up these sketch card originals that he draws. They're all one of one sketch cards, and he just puts them up for auction. They're not at set prices. They usually close somewhere between $20 and $100 roughly, depending upon the popularity of the character. Some go for way more. Like I've seen, you know, ones with multiple characters go for like several hundred in some cases, and just ones that turned out really, really stellarly, I notice get more bids and more action. But I was lucky enough to win three of them recently. So I just took three. I just put all three on this one slide, kind of cheating a little bit. Three pieces here in one, but I also have the actual sketch cards in my hand here, so I can show that next. But She-Hulk, this was the most expensive one. I think I won this auction for like 80 something dollars. So with shipping,
Mhm.
or like high 80s. So with shipping, maybe like low 90s. So that's the She-Hulk on the left. The Snow White in the middle, I think I won for like mm, I would have to double check that. But it was definitely less. It was like maybe in the 30s, somewhere in the 30s or 40s, if I remember correctly. And on the right is the evil Queen Grimhilde, who's a villain from Snow White, so related to Snow White. So once I won the Snow White, I was like, I'm going to pair it with the villain from Snow White and just get both of them. And that one closed, I think, for like $20. So I just kind of like, because it's a less appealing character, not as far as collecting goes. Fred is definitely a national treasure. Um, uh, Thank you, Brian. Appreciate that. Yeah, these are cool. They're just fun. They tickle that collecting bone for me
Mhm.
without the worry of finance, my finances being affected by it, without multiple payments over a year, like because I've bought pieces that taken me a year to pay off, and those are
Mhm.
stressful.
Yeah,
This
for
is
sure.
the total opposite of stressful collecting, right here. These Hembecks. Hey, what's up, Mr. Gurrell? Yeah, exactly. If you get one, you got to get both. Yeah, the Savage She-Hulk is definitely a standout on this, which is why it probably went for like $90. More popular character and just a really well
Mhm.
done example. But let me take myself off of the slide here and go full screen. So just so you guys see sort of the context, this is like the sizes of the sketch card. They all come with like another little doodle on the back saying what the character is, and that it's a one of one. And he always dates the year on there. There's the Snow White.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, and then here's the She-Hulk. Yeah, there's the She-Hulk. So
And they're always
yeah.
cool too, because they don't take a lot of space either, like for storage and
No,
stuff. You just put them
like
away.
I can easily store these. Like I know Jeff in the chat, he's got a whole binder full of Hembecks, and he's AOK'd me a bunch of Hembecks over the last couple years. So I think I may have like 6, 7 Hembecks now total. So I'm almost getting to the point where I have like one binder sheet worth of sketch cards. So it's a little bit of a mini collection now, but maybe it'll turn into a collection over time. I gotta check out what he's got up on his auctions. Right now, I'm not gonna. It's not a thing where I'm gonna go in every week trying to win a new Hembeck sketch card every single week. Like every once in a while, I may just go wet my whistle and like kind of scratch that
Yeah,
collecting
just to
itch.
see what they
Yeah,
got going on.
exactly. But yeah, but it's fun, just fun stuff to enjoy. All right, so I alluded to winning a page earlier for way less than I expected, and that was this page. So previously, I think when I went on Ruben's show, and I believe Ruben's still in the chat, I shared a page from this book. This is Graffiti's Wall, written by Ram V, and
Hmm.
illustrated by Anand Radhakrishnan. So he's an Indian comic artist, and he's working with a Indian writer and Ram V. So they also teamed up on the Image Comics books Blue and Green. But Dark Horse put out this graphic novel called Graffiti's Wall, or Graffiti's Wall, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Um, and so I own like the first major splash page from this book already, like one of the best images in the whole book, if not probably the best image in the whole book. And I was already satisfied, but I saw that this page was up in one of the more recent, I guess, low-key Comic Link auctions, where a lot of the pieces or a lot of the published pages like that were more lower key went very under the radar in that auction. And just to prove to you that I'm not bullshitting here, I took a screenshot of the auction page and from the back end of my account. You see, it says I won $25. So I
Hmm.
literally, this is a
Oh shit!
published page from one of my favorite books,
Wow.
of which I already own the key splash page image for. But hey, this is just bonus, and it was for 25. I won it for literally $25. My max bid was 95. I would have paid up to 95 for it. Let me go back to the actual page though. As you can see, the top panel has no art because it was all digital lettering,
Hmm.
cursive or whatever on the final print image. But the rest is all original art except for no text overlays or whatever. But yeah, I'll take that for $25 for. I mean, it kind of sucks for Anand,
It's all day.
that his page only went for $25 in the aftermarket or whatever. But hey, at
Yeah.
the end of the day, I'm a collector, and I $25, I'll take it. I'll add that. Have another page from one of my favorite graphic novels from the last several years for $25. So with like taxes, fees, and shipping, it was like $40 or something, 42 bucks, something like that. So
Nice.
yeah, Jason K is chiming in saying, "Nice page." He had a $20 bid on his first day, then checked the final price and was shocked. Congrats, Anand is one of the best. So I guess my bid pushed his bid out, and so his $20. So it was just me and Jason. We were the only ones not sleeping on this page, and Anand's artwork. So yeah, I'm stoked, man. To get
It's
this
amazing.
published page for $25 is like shipping and fees cost more than the page part. So anyway, I am pretty happy with that. I'll switch it back one more time to the artwork real quick so you can appreciate that.
I would
And
say too, like Ram V man's been killing it.
dude, Ram V is one of the best writers for sure in comics today. I mean, The Swamp Thing was like literally my favorite series for like 2 years
I
in a
agree.
row running. So all right. We got some more people in the chat. We, of course, we had Mr. Gorell earlier. Dude, I mean, yeah, if you want to talk to me about it, I can make some suggestions for you, give you some pointers for any price ranges or price targets. We got Just a Rican and his comics. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Thank you for stopping by here. Yeah, I think Anand would be happy that it went to a fan of the novel for sure. So very, very happy with that. That's probably like my price to, price to meaningfulness to my collection ratio. That's like very high, like
Mhm.
$25 versus, but one of my favorite books. Like
That's
that,
definitely great value for sure.
yeah, that's, I don't know if there's some sort of value equation out there. Maybe Dino Mauricio has it, and I forgot what the equation was, but price to like the sentimentality slash meaningfulness of the piece or the story or whatever, like that had it all for me. So I was very, very happy with that one. I don't know if Nick Barucci is still in the house, but my next page, this was a $62 page. It's Ron Garney as the artist. It's from the Hulk book, Hulk series from like the late 90s, I think I want to say late 90s, early 2000s. This is issue 4. And it's just a simple kind of plain airplane page, but you get that shadow of Hulk.
I love
Uh,
that.
yeah, you get that Hulk shadow both in the art and the published image. So yeah, this was a kind of impulse buy over on the EXP original art experience. I don't remember like when or how long ago it was, but I was hanging out in there one Friday, and Nick put this page up for $62. So I was like, yep, I'll take it. Some cool plain art. Garney, I've got several Garney pages. Dan Green on the inks. And then you got the Hulk shadow, and it's kind of a falling page. Like I like pages where characters are falling, or
Mhm.
or jumping out from a plane or the sky or whatever. So this kind of fits that thematically as well. So it checked a few different boxes for me, but the most important box it checked was the affordability box of a $62 published page that I enjoy. So Ruben saying Garney's work was as dynamic and exciting as Kirby's back in the Silver Age. That's high praise for sure. So yeah, that's a quick, simple one. Okay, so this next one, I was gonna do a live unboxing, but I kind of got a little paranoid about doing a live unboxing because I noticed that the package had some slight, dents in it, or not dents, like
Oh.
some slight creases in it. And I didn't want
Mhm.
to do the thing where I unbox it live and seem disappointed because it was like there's some creases in it. So yeah, you're not going to see the creases in the scan because it's like you would have to like zoom in to see the creases. But unfortunately, the USPS manhandled this one a little bit and didn't, bent it up in 2 or 3 different spots. But image looks fantastic. It is an Electra piece by my buddy Derek, aka Tricky Trapster, part of the OA Hour crew in the chat, hanging out. So much appreciated, dude. So the background, I didn't even pay him for this piece, but the background behind it is our mutual friend Tony, Old Wolf 65 on YouTube. A couple months ago, he did a 24-hour marathon stream on YouTube where he was literally broadcasting for 24 hours. He had guests, he did shows, he brought on people to talk about children's cancer awareness and children's cancer research, and they were raising money the whole night for children's cancer research. So I just donated to the cause because I thought it was a great thing that Tony was doing. I had no clue that there was like incentives to donate, or like that the top donor would get stuff. So I had no clue about that. But maybe a month afterwards or a few weeks afterwards, Tricky hits me up, and he was the one that kind of graciously donated to whoever was going to be the top donor to this children's cancer 24-hour marathon stream. He was going to do a commission for them, a full-size 11x17 commission for them with their character of choice. So I was like, well, I already have a few Tricky pieces in my collection. This is great. Now I could finally tell him what character I wanted. Of course, I went with Electra. So enough of that BS background information for you. Let me just share the incredible Electra commission piece that Tricky blessed me with.
Hell
Incredible,
yeah.
dude. I
Hell
mean,
yeah.
yeah. So you get the whole 11x17 board scan on the left side, and then a close up on the right side. But man, that's one of the coolest Electra pieces in my collection, and that's saying a lot because I got Bill Sienkiewicz Electra piece and Jim Mahfood Electra piece, and like this belongs in that lineup in my portfolio among those pieces. So, dude, shout out to you, Tricky Trapster. Thanks again, man, for this banger,
Yeah, for sure.
banger
It's
of
a
a
bang.
piece here.
I
Yeah,
love the
so cool.
electricity coming out of her sigh. That's
Yeah,
like
the psi
really makes
electricity
it.
thing. Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
brings it back all together for me. That's awesome.
Yeah, this just came out unbelievably good. So I don't know if Tricky's still in the chat or not, but thanks again, man. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, great
This
job,
one
Tricky.
this one came out freaking stellar. So all right. So last but not least, I alluded to it earlier. This is not a new piece. I've had this for a bit. I think I bought this last year at some point when I was starting to get into Deadpool more, and have subsequently gotten more into Deadpool since then. Yeah, there's Tricky. There he is. Yeah, let me put up his piece one last time. There we go. Yeah, it came out really good. Really, really good. The fishnets are a great touch for sure. Um, all right, so let me just show quickly the last piece. This is a Ryan Stegman page from Avengers number 0, issue 0. don't ask me what year this Avengers issue 0 came out on a modern Avengers run, but it's a Deadpool page. Like that comic had like 5 or 6 mini stories within it. It's like one of those kind of, one story's about Deadpool, one story's about this character, etc. So Ryan Stegman had the Deadpool story in this issue, and I believe it was written by Jerry Duggan. So I couldn't find the
Cool.
colored. Yeah, I didn't grab the colored published example. I just did a zoom up because that bottom panel is just too cool to not do a zoom up. Look how awesome that freaking panel is in the bottom,
Love
man.
that perspective.
That perspective, yeah, exactly. So that
Like,
perspective is incredible. Yeah, so Stegman's one of my favorite modern guys, from his Carnage and Venom work and stuff like that,
yeah,
especially.
he's
But
that
yeah,
dude.
this is an earlier page from him than that era of his work, and it's quite nice. I feel like I've shared it before somewhere online, and I can't remember where, but yeah, shout out to Khalil, who I grabbed this from, another collector on CAF, and uh, good guy, good collector as well. Hung out with him at New York Comic Con this past year, also. So yeah, good deal, good page, good Stegman art. Yeah, it's just a killer Deadpool page. So yeah, man. That is my round for this episode 41 of Original Art Hour. We're gonna go back to Jag here. Sorry, I said Jag. I knew I would do it at least once.
That's what it is.
Back to Black
Are you right?
Swamp.
You right.
Yeah, I'm right and wrong, but back to Black Swamp for this one.
All right. So this was a commission piece I got Motor City Comic Con a couple years ago. It's by Jim Calafiore. I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Nice. Yeah,
So
I think so.
so he worked on Aquaman, the Peter David run. So I was ended up getting this commission from him, and he was just kind of telling me that he never got the opportunity to do Black Manta while he was on Aquaman. So I don't think this was
Mm,
his first time drawing Black Manta. So I thought that was pretty cool, which made sense because I think Black Manta only appeared like in 2 issues of that entire run, and he was like I don't know. It was some weird stuff going on in DC in the 90s where he sold his soul and he became like this actual manta creature thing or whatever. So it was kind of cool that he did the classic Black Manta stuff. My only regret on this piece is that I did not ask him for like a bust or a full figure because I freaking loved
right.
how good it came out. And yeah, man. So hopefully I get to see him again and get him to do another Black Manta. Freaking love this piece. Is just goes right into my Black Manta collection.
No, it's really cool. It's really clean too, and I like the angle. You don't really see that angle.
Yep.
That frame, the frame of reference for it. It's pretty cool. What's up, Sam? I am Comics in the house. Good to see you, Sam.
What's up, Sam?
All right.
Hey,
More Ramona Fraden. This is like the Ramona show right here. Literally, what,
for
like
sure.
4 or 5
Shout out to
total
Ramona,
tonight.
bro.
Yeah, shout out to Ramona.
So Ramona's this was an AOK from Geeks. So
Nice.
um this was pretty awesome to get this Aquaman piece by Ramona because Ramona was like one of the earlier artists on Ramona. I know she did the tryout issue on like the showcase. Um and she's worked on like other like Aquaman books and stuff. So it was really cool to have an Aquaman artist, uh, well, an Aquaman piece by an Aquaman artist. So really cool, really awesome. Really enjoyed it, and I really appreciate Geeks for sending me this one out my way.
That's a really cool piece to get, especially as an AOK.
For sure.
Well chosen, Steve. Good stuff. Anything else you want to say about this, or you want me to move on?
We can go on to the next
Okay,
one.
cool.
This is pretty cool.
All right, back to some interior published panel artwork.
All right, so this is another AOK from Geeks, bro.
Oh
Like Geeks
crap,
is like responsible for like almost like
Geeks!
half my
Should I send you the link? Like what's the deal? What's the deal?
So, so shout out to Geeks, man. I really appreciate it. He actually sent me this one. He knows I'm a huge RoboCop fan, and I don't know where he found this piece, but I really appreciate it. The artist is I'm gonna mispronounce his name, but it's Huang Win,
Okay.
and this is from one of those
You mean
earlier
it's
RoboCop
it's
comics.
Hong Wen. So I actually
Hong
own a complete Punisher issue that he did for Marvel.
All right, sweet.
Yeah, he's a
Win.
Vietnamese comic artist. I know this is one of the other big series that he worked on besides Punisher. Um, and after his time with comics, like in the 90s with Marvel, he ended up working in video games. So he's the art director for Bandai Namco games. So like
That's awesome.
a lot of the Elder Scrolls video games, he's
Hmm.
responsible for the art direction for it.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
Yep.
So he ended up sending me this page, and you get a little RoboCop panel down at the bottom.
I
So
loved
it's
it. Yeah, had to zoom in
really
on that
awesome.
one. But yeah.
So yeah, freaking love RoboCop. That's like one of my favorite 80s movies. Matter of fact, I think RoboCop was like my first superhero that I, encountered. Like to me, he
Hmm.
was like a superhero to me. So
Hell yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Shout out Geeks, man. Thank you, man.
I mean, he got this, like it was a very unique time in pop culture for that character to take off the way it did at the time, you know.
For
Um,
sure.
very,
And
very
I'm gonna
fun.
say like this might be a little unrelated, but like the 80s for me was like for movies.
Hmm.
I think it was the best sci-fi time because all
Oh
the
yeah.
ideas were pretty original at that time. So
Yeah,
I really love it.
because you're only a couple years removed from Star Wars being brand new back then. So there was so
Yeah,
much
for sure.
innovation with not just sci-fi in movies and other media, but and stuff like gaming. There were so many video games in the 80s based on space, very space things.
Yeah,
I think a lot of that is coming sort of from the influence of Star Wars and pop culture in the late 70s. But
yeah. The
very, very cool. Yeah. 80s were dope for sure.
80s were dope.
Frank Miller wrote the screenplay to the sequel. Oh yeah, for RoboCop.
I think it was for like RoboCop 2 or 3. I think
Hmm.
that's what he was
Yeah.
supposed to do on that one.
All right. We got another Ramona Fradon.
I love this one. I freaking love Power Girl. I'm not sure like well, I can think of a couple of reasons, but uh she just connected with me, like she I love the story of her origin with I forget his name, Wally. Yeah, I think it was
Mhm.
Wally who started him. The whole story of him like um making her bosoms a little bigger in every issue. Like I'm not sure if that's true, but I love it. I love that story. And so yeah, I saw this Ramona Fradon, and this one's got quite a bit of detail to it, and I really appreciate it. It's goes very well with my Power Girl shrine that I got going on over here. So just a very cool character that I really enjoy, especially like the Jeff Johns interpretation of her. And also like her solo series that you know we got. I think it was called
Mhm.
like Power Trip or something. So very awesome just to have original art of Power Girl. So
No, it's beautiful, and the pencils kind of remind me of like the same touch that she had on the Wonder Woman that I brought earlier. Let me like
yep,
I can do a quick. There you go, quick
there it
back and
is.
forth.
Yep.
You know.
So
Um.
she's got quite a bit of softness and like
Yeah.
the whisk
Yeah.
of the hair.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I don't know. That's it's very graceful art, I think.
Very, very nice one, dude. All right, moving on to this guy right here.
So this thing's dope, dude. Like I saw it on Instagram, artist named Mandy War Art. Uh, and he's based out of Cuba. And the guy's like always posting stuff on his Instagram. I saw this piece and I was like, man, this thing is so dope. And he did have it for sale, so he went ahead and sent it to me. And this is the Predator from the latest Predator movie, which came out on Hulu. Um, and I really
Was it
love this
called
piece. Like,
Prey? I think I still
yeah,
need to
it's
catch.
called
I need to
Prey.
catch that one still, but yeah,
Yeah, it's really good. And
I heard it was good. Yeah.
so they used a lot of practical effects in this film, and the I think the actor that played the Predator was like a basketball player, so he had like very long, lanky build, and I felt like he really captured those long limbs in this art as well. So a very dope piece. I really love it. I think for an Aliens Predator fan like myself, this was kind of a no-brainer for me. So really enjoyed this piece, and yeah, love it.
No, it's cool, man. I really like all the detail that went into it. I'm not as familiar with the character design from the newer Predator stuff, but it just screams that that's what it's from. Like
Yep.
it didn't take you explaining it for me to know what it was from, even though I haven't seen it.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. I
Good stuff.
recommend it if anybody. The only thing I'm like kind of like upset about is like I've been waiting for it to come out like on a Blu-ray because I like owning physical media.
Right, but it's a
And
Hulu. I'm in the same boat, dude. Like I'm a physical media guy, like, comics, video games, books, everything,
mhm.
movies. It
So I'm
sucks. It
just
sucks. It sucks when
I
you
know.
can't, when you really want to buy something and you can't because it's a streaming service
Yep.
gating it or whatever. But yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
This is definitely this next one. Shout out to Tony NY Jr. and Chad Barbarian Kung Fu, by the way. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Appreciate you, fellas. Um, this one's probably one of my personal favorites that you chose to share tonight, and that's this Death Piece.
Oh yeah. So really love this piece. This was a commission I got from the artist's name is Rob Retiano. He's on IG. So I met him at Motor City Comic Con, and he did a Black Panther, or not a Black Panther, a Black Manta commission. See now, like maybe it was my fault, And he did a
Mhm.
pretty good Black Manta. So I wanted somebody to do a commission for me for Death, and I was kind of looking around at some artist pages and stuff, and I saw Robert Tiano do like a crow piece with rain effects, and I was like, all right, this is gonna be the guy. So I reached out to him, and he was, I pretty much asked, I just wanted her to hold an umbrella, and I want some rain effects, and I think he really
Nailed it.
nailed
Yeah.
the water texture on it as well. So very appreciative. A really good artist, in my opinion. I really loved it, and I
No,
love that he
lovely.
added that extra little green lush to the bottom. So
Hmm.
one of my favorite stories, one of my favorite issues. It's just her first appearance. It's
Sandman 8, issue 8.
yep, you're correct,
Mhm.
and so yeah, I was pretty happy about that.
Dude, I love it, man. Love it. I did a death commission recently by Rochda Lynn.
Hmm.
That one came out more like manga style because she's like a Singaporean manga artist.
Yeah.
But I was super happy with the way that turned out. I need to do more death pieces in the future as far as commissioning. Definitely one of my favorite characters as well.
And I've been.
Sandman, one of my favorite books ever. Period.
Mhm.
Neil Gaiman.
And
Yeah.
one thing I think I'll say, like, there's like a lot of interpretations of artists when they do death, and I will always really enjoy like because death is kind of she can change figures if she wants, like
Totally.
so
Totally.
I love seeing different artists' interpretation of her.
Same. Okay, we are moving right along here, and this one's really cool, man. Tell us about this.
So this is a commission piece from James O'Barr. I see him here at a local con that he comes out here, and ended up getting this commission piece on it of just the crow. Obviously, I just wanted the crow. And speaking of rain effects, you can see a little bit of
Yeah.
rain effects in it. And I think what I really love about this piece is the eyes. I think it's kind of he's got like this kind of apprehensive look. Like he's kind of like I don't know, like he's kind of like the head is tilted back a little bit and he's kind of looking down and stuff like that. I don't know. I really love this piece and this is actually my second James O'Barr. Like I ended up having him sketch one of my hardcovers on the inside.
Hmm.
So very cool dude. He's kind of quiet, but
I've
he's
never
super
met him.
chill, dude.
Like, I'm sure I've been at the
So
same show as him probably at some point. I've never been
uh-huh.
like I enjoy The Crow, right? Like, don't get me wrong, but I never read the comics or gotten kind of beyond that, like for those first two films, as far as like my awareness of the lore or the character. Like, and it's been probably I don't remember the last time I even saw the movie or the
Okay.
movies. So,
I highly recommend the story. It's very emotionally charged and it kind of reminds
I
me a
mean,
little bit of
the
like
first movie I remember really enjoying. After that, I don't
Mhm.
remember anything. Is there like a specific? Is there like? Are there still like comics coming out for this character or this world
I
or no?
I think every once in a while
Okay.
you'll see like Dark Horse put out some books and stuff like that. I know there's
Okay.
like a really awesome variant that's out there somewhere. But I don't think there's like an ongoing series
Right.
at the moment. Um,
What's up,
but yeah,
Marcus Way in the house? Good to see you, Marcus. All right, let's move on. After the O bar, we have this Glenn
All right,
Fabry.
this is a
uh,
really fun piece.
I was
Okay.
wondering if I should have censored this or not, but hey, my channel is not for kids, so hey.
So I love this. One of my favorite comic stories is Preacher, and I read it in the Absolutes. The Absolutes are gorgeous, and
Mhm.
so I was wanted to remark. So Glenn Fabry was here at Motor City Comic Con last year, and I went to go talk to him, and I all I wanted was like the lighter that said, fuck communism, because I freaking
Yeah,
love that. And then it's like that would be so cool to have a remark of that in my book. And when I came back, he went above and beyond, and he actually added the Jesse Custer little sketch with the cigarette.
that's
So
cool.
it's always cool. Like, and I'm gonna tell you, like, all the creators I've met yet.
Mm,
I think Glenn Fabry's like one of those dudes that I would love to knock down some beers with because he's just so fun
for
and
sure.
relaxed and he's just chill. So really appreciate it. This is just a fun piece. I really love Preacher and uh, so yeah. The only thing is says fuck communists. So I freaking love that too.
No, it's it's
Uh,
it's really cool.
I'm glad that
I
he didn't
mean,
flinch at that.
yeah, I mean, for I think you brought multiple examples during this show of scenarios where you're just trying to basically get a signature and you got so much more as a bonus, which is always awesome.
Yeah, I always love that. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, that lighter with the fuck communism, it's just perfect.
Dude, I want that lighter, bro. Like, where do they make these?
I have a Zippo that kind of looks like it doesn't say fuck communism on it, but I have it kind of has that. I mean, it's a Zippo
Okay.
lighter kind of style.
Those things are
Um,
cool, man.
yeah, very cool. I used to be more into them back in the day when they were more readily like you could find them. Now they're kind of
Mhm.
like they're very collectible, I guess, Zippos.
Honestly, I don't
Just
see that many
just
people with
like
them.
anything, old that people used to be into that doesn't exist anymore. Super expensive now, all of a sudden. But
Yeah, I think a lot of it's
yeah,
like culture change because
yeah.
like
I mean,
smoking. You
smoke
know,
exactly. Smoking kind of went, to the wayside. Vaping took over and all that.
hmm
Why do you need a Zippo for? But it's
yeah,
collectible.
because it's cool, bro.
Uh,
Like,
it's
can you
cool.
do this with
Yeah.
the vapor, bro? Like, you can't just flip it open,
Can't yeah, you can't see a flame, you know?
So,
All right. Well, cool. All right, we got a couple more pieces to go, guys. Talk about this one.
so I this is the last piece I've gotten the latest piece.
You
I
mean the
got
most
this.
recent? Most recent?
Yeah, the most recent. I got it in Fantastic Con a couple weeks ago.
Cool.
Jason Moore. I believe he's inker. But he had these sketches ready to go, and he's like, I saw the demon. I was like, all right, that sounds good. And I really love this demon, and he added the flames in the back. So it looks even cooler. It looks even more badass. So I just love Etrigan the demon. Like
Yeah.
anytime he shows up in his story, he's like, he's just badass, dude. He's just like starts raising hell. And
Cool.
so yeah, very cool. I think the artist is Jason Moore
Jason
on this
Moore.
one.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
All
very
right.
cool piece. I really love it.
All right. And then here we have a classic character from one of the classic artists who has done that character.
Yep, Mike Grell. This is his Arrowhead, and he was here at Fantasticon as well last year. Um, so when I saw it, it's like I like beelined it when he was here. I just beelined it, and I was like trying to get a sketch from him. So very cool. I really loved his Green Arrow storyline. Like it was like it's fantastic. It's so gritty, crime
Oh
drama,
yeah.
and so I think I would say that's Mike Grell's probably like the definitive Green Arrow like artist and writer as well. So
I would
very
agree.
very happy to
Yeah.
get this piece.
Awesome. And I would agree with you. Not a character or title that I've read a ton of, like admittedly, but
Mhm.
what I have, I would say his stands out.
For
Um,
sure.
yeah. Um, Steve saying Mike does these Green Arrow sketches so fast. Yeah, I believe it. I definitely believe it. He's probably had to do, countless thousands of quick Green Arrow sketch. I think on the last episode of OA Hour, I gave away a sketch cover that had one of these on the back. It
Yeah, I
was
remember that.
yeah,
You
it was
did.
it was on an Action Comics 1000 that had a couple Stigs and sketches on it, and one of them was a pretty similar Mike Grell side profile Green Arrow. But um,
So
what up,
yeah, he's a
comics and
wizard.
culture? George in the house. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, what's up?
Thanks for stopping in. All right, and last but not least, I'll get us a quick visual of us on camera here before we go to the last piece. This is the piece that you specifically wanted to talk about last, and is your first piece, right? Your first
Yep,
published piece that you picked up.
yep. And
Here it is.
so yeah, this is a published page from Aquaman #7. This is a piece by Ivan Race, and then the
Mhm.
inks by Joe Prado. And so I wanted a Black Manta published piece, right? Because like
Yeah.
when I learned that, you could actually buy those pieces, I went out and I was looking for a piece, and I really love this piece. It was actually during COVID. I
Mhm.
got it off Chattel Scudos or something like that. And
Chioscuro Studios. Yep.
and so it was during COVID,
Chioscuro. I
and
never pronounced that right, by the way. Chioscuro,
I have no
Chioscuro.
idea, like Chattel
Yeah.
Scudos, I don't know.
I
And
struggle with that
so I
one.
got it during COVID, so it was taking them a while to like ship it out to me, even though it was in Brazil. But this was my
Mhm.
first piece, so I was like so nervous about it. I was like letting geeks know. I was like, "Hey, man, you think I got
Ah.
scammed or something, bro?" Like, because it was just taking forever, dude. Like,
Yeah,
but it
because
was during COVID.
they consolidate their art overseas before it comes here to the
Hmm.
buyers with Chioscuro most of the time.
So yeah, that makes sense. And I honestly I was like over the moon when I got this. On the top panel you see. So this issue is also the first appearance of the others,
Hmm.
which the others are to Aquaman what the crew is to Black Panther. They're kind of like his little group of sidekicks and stuff. And so included this lady, her name's like Sheena the Seer. It was her
Yeah,
first appearance, but as you can see, it was also her last appearance because
yeah.
Black Manta took care of that.
I
And
mean, those bottom two panels are pretty gnarly. They're awesome. You know,
yeah, I
very.
freaking love that middle panel because she like
The
does
whole
like a
page is
somersault
great.
over him,
Yeah, yeah,
and then he like turns around, and if you look at the color version, like I love the effects that are coming out of the eyes. It's kind of
yeah.
like he's powering up his beams, and then on the bottom panel, you just see her like just smash her, and then he executes her on the next page. So very awesome. Like as a Black Manta collector, I feel like I wanted a piece where
Yeah.
Black Manta was like shooting his lasers,
So,
this was way more than I could have asked for. So at the time, the Ivan Ray stuff was like very affordable. This was like maybe five
all
years
right. So
ago.
you heard it,
So
guys. Get your good Black Mana art in front of Jag over here. Black Swan Comics over here. He's looking for it, and Kiaro Skuro for future reference, according to
Chiaroscuros,
Kiaro Skuro.
Chiaroscuro.
Kiaro
Yeah.
Skuro. Okay.
It's like
Say
difficult
that.
'cause
I'm
I
gonna
feel
say
like
that
that's
10
like
times fast.
Portuguese. I feel like it's
Maybe. Yeah, I think
I feel
possibly.
yeah, or it's like a type of art or something. I don't know. So
Bottom panel
uh
reminds me of Cyborg Superman's first full appearance. He turns and burns a few random. Oh, interesting. Okay. It's been like
let's see.
long ass time since I read that, but very cool. Well,
So
uh,
for me, this was like I just want to say like Ivan Race is like to me that he's like one of the best Black Manta artists
mhm.
because I think it's like really difficult to get like the head right,
Yeah,
uh, where he doesn't look silly. It's sort of like modern Black Manta. Sometimes the head's too big or it's too little, and it looks kind of silly. But I think Ivan Reyes is like he gets the proportions right, and then the other artists I would say the same thing would be like Robson Rocha, which
mhm.
rest in peace. But I think he was another artist that could really get those proportions right.
Well, that's awesome. I guess it was Italian, not Portuguese, on the chiaroscuro. But
Okay.
anyway, dude, awesome job, man. Good stuff, good selection, good explanations and stories behind the pieces. So you've been collecting what, 2 years now? Like you started during the pandemic, and now it's 2 years later. Here we are
Yeah.
on the
So
OA hour. Very cool.
so I've been doing like I think since like 2018 is when I started collecting comics. and I just been getting. I'm focused a lot of like major keys. This is usually what I've been doing.
Right.
But
You mean on your
every once in a while,
talk about your channel before we wrap up here. Black Swamp Comics, YouTube, Instagram. What kind of content you got going on?
so the only thing I really got going on is for I do like a monthly Poison Ivy review on that one. Other than that, I kind of like to talk about just like the hobby as far as like comic books and really take the perspective of new collectors and the buyers and little guys and stuff like that. Also, I would say like my channel's probably not like for everyone. I think I would say like I like to challenge my audience, and I like the audience to challenge me as well. So, IG though, IG, I'm just having fun doing reels and showing books and showing statues and showing art and just making reels with music and stuff like that. So, on my YouTube, I am working on launching a live show. Hopefully, I can get
Cool.
that done by the summer.
Yeah, I mean, here's from what I know about your channel and your content. Probably more when you were Jag, but also since you've been Black Swamp Comics. Cool collecting videos. So that you got stuff, you do stuff like that. You do share pickups and stuff like that. But you also do these kind of like topical videos, where like this is your take on such and such trend or thing going on in the hobby at large, right? Which
Right,
I
right.
think is
I
cool.
like.
Which yeah, it's really cool. And then you've got other kind of stuff, centered around, stories and things that you like. But I think, as far as having a live show, I'd love to hear about that. Let me know about it. Let the community know. But easiest way
Yeah,
to find out is by going to the channel, hitting subscribe, clicking the bell notification, and all that
and
jazz, and then you'll
and
find out.
and I want to say too, like, thank you for having me on here. It's this is like I feel like one of the mainstays of like the community, just original art,
Uh,
just showing, you have like the collectors, you have the speculation and stuff, and then you have the original art corner. And I've
right.
already really liked watching this show as well. So
Thanks, man.
thank you, and it's been an honor to come here and show you guys my art. And uh, I want to keep seeing everyone else share their cool art as well.
Yeah, well, I think maybe more than a year ago I asked you if you wanted to come on, but I think you had just been starting out and you didn't feel like you had enough to show. So I understand that, especially as a newer OA collector. I totally get that. So
Yeah, like,
I'm glad we finally got you on and involved. So
yeah, man, for sure.
yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you for watching. If you're watching this on the rewind, please hit us up in the comment section below. Let us know what you think of some of these pieces. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, all that's good stuff. I might have more content coming your way in the future, so hit that notification bell and all that. Thank you for watching Original Art Hour.
Good night,
And
guys.
we'll play the outro, and we'll say goodnight.
Where do I begin? I see the hate, they don't wanna see me win. Bank deposits, I got more coming in. Top down, throw the money in the wind. I don't want it all. Heard this scammer had to switch up the accounts. Moving paper, gotta call it my account. It's all in, I can have it coming out. Been through the struggle, I can see another drought. Yeah, it's not a purse, it's a merce. 6 figures was a gold, now it's 9 or a hearse. Put it work. Used to pull up, not swerve, no time for the snakes, time to put them in the dirt, that's word. I gotta get it, it's in my DNA. You only see the highlights, don't know what it takes. Last year stressing, got no sleep. Now I'm right between the courts, out of nosebleed. Yeah, I see the hate, they don't wanna see me win. Bank deposits, I got more coming in. Top down, throw the money in the wind. I don't want it all. Heard these scammer had to switch up the account.